So now the next thing we need to do is we need to start generating leaves on our Christmas tree. So first stuff we're going to do is we're going to create a JZT leaf generator. And I'm going to not worry about this right now, I'm just going to switch to this. And we're going to have a look at generating some little leaves. So if we look at actual, if you look at actual trees, they're kind of just like little rectangles that kind of stick on, like the tinsel stuff. So it's kind of what we're going to use for now. So the generation here, we're going to make this really nice and low res, and set it to 1, 1, 1, and 1. We only need 1 at the moment, so we're going to get this thing. Under the shape, I'm going to set the width to 0.2. And I want to go ahead and delete all of these and set this one just to 1. Another thing I want to do too is I want to remove this bend, so I'm just going to set this to 0 and set the bend X just to 0 as well. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a instancer node, so let's do a JZT leaf instancer, plug it down. On the left side we need to input in the input mesh, the next one the skeleton, and the last one we need to input our actual points. Sorry, now our actual leaf geometry. And it's important to make sure we use the right side here. This left one is a preview one, so we can see, and that's before. I might just click another one quickly now. Leaf gen. Okay. This first one here, it just lets us see them all. So if we go to here, and when we want to look at our random width and stuff, we get just a nice preview, or same with like our random bends and other stuff. But if we look at the second one, it automatically has them all stacked up nicely ready for our instancer. So we're going to use that right side. So I'll plug that in, and yep, okay, our leaves are just absolutely massive. So first off, I'm just going to go to that scale tab quickly. Going to get a scale tab quickly, and we're going to set it to 0.06. And let's go ahead and make sure we can see what we're doing. Let's create a merge node, plug in the geometry, and plug in our instances just so we can see what we're working with. And then back to our instancer node, I'm going to go to the scatter tab, and we're going to change it from standard to interval. Oh, that's back, let's just get rid of that. To interval. Now we're going to turn off the force total count again, and we're going to go back to using the scale. I'm going to set that to 25. There we go. I'm also going to remove this density ramp. I don't want it to be thinner at any point, so I want this to be nice, thick twigs full of leaves. And we're going to leave that as it is, and the rest of that is all fine. Next we'll go to the scale, and we're going to change this to 0.075. Following, we're going to go to the orientations tab. We're going to go to yaw, and we're going to set the yaw to -27.1, and then change the rand yaw to 9.4. So it'll look much more like a Christmas tree now. Finally, we're just going to turn on a little bit of wind. So on our instancer node, just here, we're going to go to the wind at the winds tab just at the end, just turn on the enable wind. And I'm going to set the rand amp just to 10, speed to 5, and then rand speed to also 5, and leave the directional scale, all that is to. If I play this back, you should be able to start seeing it starts moving. Yep, all working. This is a lot of leaves, this one's a little slow. Alright, so let's just turn that off for now just so we can keep working. And we get a nice preview. And we have our modeled our tree. So next thing we're going to do is we need to start attaching all our decorations and all the custom geometry we have made. So first off, let's do those little balls, the Christmas balls I showed earlier. So I'm going to jump back into here. I'm going to grab, here we go, just the ball. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to my building area, create an object merge, plug it in there, and load it in. Following, I'm going to create a transform node. This is pretty important when you're using your own custom geometry. You need to make sure that wherever you want to attach your stuff to needs to be in world space area. So right now I want to attach just here in this world space area and use this area just here just as the pivot. That should do well. Now the following thing I want to do is I want to just going to quickly pack it. So there's definitely no misconfusions how this works. I'm going to create another JZT leaf instancer. Also might just give this a color node just so I can see what's happening. Let's set this to red. Great. Just like before, geometry. Oh, sorry. I actually want to attach this. When you attach these, you don't usually do them on the tiny twigs on Christmas trees. You usually choose the bigger branches because they're going to be heavy. So I'm going to do the generation just above it. Just plug it into here, and then plug the geometry just into there. When I click this on, we should now see we have this stuff just absolutely everywhere. I'm going to go to the scatter. I'm going to change it just to interval. Oh, sorry, I'm not going to set it to interval. I'm going to leave it as standard. I'm going to turn off the force total count and change least scale to 0.4. I'm also going to change this ramp to about here, and then the last one to about here. I'm going to change this height as well. I want to set this one to constant. Right about here, here, and here. I'm going to go over to the scale tab just really quickly because this is really hard to work with, just like this. And I'm going to set this just to 0.2. Right now our balls are all facing the incorrect way. I'm going to go over to the orientation tab. I'm going to turn the orientate to world. So right now it's grabbing the orientation of the previous generations, where I can see some is facing one weird way, and this is all really good when you want to do your leaves. Well, we want these to all face just straight down. So let's just do orientate to world. Let's tick that on, and I'm going to go to the twist attribute, the twist tab, and just change that twist to just -90. And just like that, they're all just facing the ground, just like how they should do. We need to just adjust a few more settings just in the scatter area. I was going to move that forward a little bit. I'm going to change this relax iterations from 100 to 1000 and change this to 0.33. There we go. That looks great. So now if I plug the balls, might just move this to here so I can see it. Great. And I'm going to plug this into here, and you can see we have the balls attached to our Christmas tree. Now I also had that little star I wanted to attach, so I'm just going to go back to my build decorations node. Same thing, I'm going to grab that little star, back to the tree, and create an object merge, paste in the star, I'll create a transform and a pack. So to begin with, I'm going to get this, and I want to make sure, so I want to attach it at this pivot point, and I want to use this area just about there. Let's just pivot, and then I'm going to use the pack geometry node. There we go. Create this little point. There we go. Should be all fine. Yep. Now I'm actually going to create another transform node, and we're going to be attached to this without the JZTree instancer. And I'll show you how to do that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to preview our tree. We're going to grab our W. Let's go to that. There we go. And we're going to move our star just to the top where we want to attach it. So I want to put it probably around here. I reckon this might be a little big. Let's just maybe 0.55. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, and so now we need to be able to attach this to our tree. So when later on, if we want to deform our tree, we want to make sure this is able to attach to it. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a blast node. I'm going to wire it up here to the geometry of this level just here. Because when we're looking at this back there, we actually want to attach this to this branch just here. So I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to delete the previous group and keep that group, like so. Every time you create a geometry node, this is the part it's telling it what to generate on every previous node. Group is called the previous group. You can also give it its custom group, but for now we know it's a previous group, so we're just going to leave it as that. Finally, we're going to create a transform attributes node. We want to transfer the attributes to the star from here. and doesn't really matter, we just leave it all on there. What we're really after is a ID node and a few other things, but it's pretty easy just to let it all copy over just for now. Now the next thing is we need to tell it what are instances and what is geometry. So I'm going to go to here and I'm going to do another merge now of all these different packed geometry pieces to get all of this. The leaves, the ball, the Christmas balls, and the star. And let's just not worry about this preview. That's the end of this segment. Here, just a quick recap. We instance all these leaves onto the tree, instance all these Christmas balls, and attach the Christmas light. In the next chapter, we'll be going into how to generate procedure wind on the tree, and then how to reskin it all back together and finish up.